Dear Josephine, I hope you enjoy reading this book as much as I do. Aunt Dana and Aunt Jessica send their love too. Hugs and kisses. I love you, Papaw. Josephine loved the sea. She would often take her little sailboat and sail across the bay near her home. But one day, while Josephine was sailing, a big storm struck. The wind blew, the rain fell, and the sea tossed her little boat around. "This is not good," Josephine said. "My boat might sink." She tried again and again to head toward the shore, but the winds and waves kept pushing her further and further out to sea. After several hours, the storm stopped. But by this time, Josephine had no idea where she was. She spotted a small island and headed for it. She hoped that she might find someone who could help her get back home. The island, however, seemed deserted. There were coconut trees and banana trees and lots of birds. There was even a waterfall and a small lagoon. But Josephine did not see any people. "How am I going to get home?" she said as she sat down on a rock near the lagoon. Josephine was so sad that she began to cry. "There, there," a voice said to her. "There is no time for tears." Josephine looked around, but saw no one. "Who is there?" Josephine asked. "It's just us, dearie," another voice said. "But who is us?" Josephine asked. Suddenly, a figure leaped out of the lagoon, flipped in the air, and landed perfectly back in the water. It was a mermaid. "Stop being a show-off, Aunt Dana," a second voice said. Aunt Dana popped her head above the water and smiled at Josephine. "I'm not showing off, Aunt Jessica," she said. "I'm just stretching a bit." Aunt Jessica swam out from behind a rock and waved to Josephine. "Are you really mermaids?" Josephine asked, noticing that they both had tails instead of legs. "Oh, yes," Aunt Dana said, lifting her tail a bit out of the water. "But why are you crying?" "I was sailing in my boat when that big storm hit. Now I have no idea where I am or how I will get home," Josephine said. Josephine started to feel better, knowing she wasn't all alone. "Please don't fret," Aunt Jessica told Josephine. "We can make sure that you get home in time for dinner." Suddenly, there was a loud splash and a bright flash. As Josephine regained her eyesight, she looked down to see her legs had been replaced with a pretty, pink, sparkling, shiny tail. She couldn't believe it. She was a mermaid. Aunt Dana and Aunt Jessica giggled. "We are Magic Mermaids and have given you the tools you need to get yourself home safely," explained Aunt Dana. "Thank you," cried Josephine excitedly. "Will you swim home with me?" Now, every Saturday, Aunt Dana and Aunt Jessica meet Josephine at the bay near her home so they can play. Aunt Dana and Aunt Jessica turn Josephine into a beautiful mermaid so they can swim and frolic together in the warm ocean. Then eat fresh oysters and lobster salad. Josephine loves being a mermaid. It makes her feel so free and happy. Now, Josephine never gets frightened of storms because she knows that one big storm led her to meet her new best friends.